David, BMI has a distinguished history from 1949, in fact. What's the state of play today?
Today, yes, we've had a long history, and indeed the heritage of the airline is one we're very proud about. The last couple of years, we've moved into a new era. We've moved into a relationship clearly with a new owner, and that's the Lufthansa Group. So we, as part of the Lufthansa Group, along with Swiss and Austrian and SN Brussels, are forming quite a strong partnership, a strong family, and very much leading forward within the UK and also a number of other countries, destinations and geographical areas around the world to try and form a better alliance and a better grouping of airlines. BMI clearly is a part of that. We're now looking much more towards the short-haul and mid-haul market ranges, so more into North Africa, the Middle East, into Central Asia, and trying to develop some core themes in terms of our flying, quite often in terms of what we term neighbourhood flying, so within the partner groups, so into Vienna, the hub of Austrian, into Basel, which is becoming a very strong hub for Swiss, and clearly from the regions of the UK into Frankfurt and into Berlin as well to support some of the Lufthansa network.
How would you characterize today's BMI? Is it a long-haul airline, short-haul or medium-haul?
BMI has traditionally been a very much a short-haul airline, very much an airline that concentrated on key domestic UK routes, and indeed in the 70s and 80s built up a huge reputation in terms of the Diamond service, and very much it led some of the branding in the UK during those decades. More recently, we've looked at really the economics of domestic UK flying and believe that actually we need to continue to fly some of the core routes in the UK, but also strengthen our network generally by moving more towards the longer short-haul routes. So we're looking to develop our network, and indeed in the latest network season, we've introduced 6 new routes. And those are mainly to slightly longer short-haul routes within Europe and mid-haul routes more towards the North Africa, Middle East, Central Asia areas.
You fly between Moscow and London 2 times a day. What about the rest of Russia?
Well, first of all, we like to consider we fly 4 times a day between London and Moscow because we fly in partnership with Transaero. Indeed, Transaero as an airline that has supported us from the very start when we started flying back in 2006, when we were flying single daily, and they were flying single daily, and then we doubled our capacity in 2008. Transaero also offer an internal domestic connecting product as well, so we can also fly customers from the UK to Moscow and then generate that network from Moscow, and indeed vice versa. Using Heathrow, from the Russian perspective, Heathrow's a great transfer product. We have in Terminal 1, we've got very good minimum connecting times now. It's far improved. It's an improved product from previously. And also, you know, we have invested. In fact, July the 8th, just a few days ago, we completed our full embodiment of the new product that we have on board, which includes 127 centimeters seat pitch in terms of our business class. We have a chauffeur drive service from both ends of the route if our business class passengers want to partake of that. And indeed some great catering, some new chefs that we've employed in terms of our onboard food, and some great entertainment as well. So our in-flight product is second to none on the Moscow route. So we're very proud of that, and that's certainly something that we want to continue to grow and develop. As far as the rest of Russia is concerned, we're really keen to develop the network. It's difficult because it's sometimes mixed up with the air services agreement and some of the historic agreements that have previously been decided. Certainly St. Petersburg, clearly a strong leisure destination from the UK outbound market. And at the moment we would love to fly there, and if there's more opportunity to fly there beyond just the odd charter, we would certainly want to do that on a scheduled basis. And then there are lots of other, I mean, Russia is such a dynamic and growing country that there are lots and lots of places that we'd like to look at. Either as beyond points to Moscow, or indeed look at the opportunity to fly directly. And we have flown in the past historically to places like Ekaterinburg, And really, you know, it all is about how we can assess the economics of a destination, and also if we start to fly there, we want to continue to fly there. So it's about how the ongoing development of a route can be worked into our network.
Are you looking to fly to Sochi for the Winter Olympics in 2014?
As a keen sportsman myself, I know very clearly where I'd like to be during those times, and BMI look towards all of these world events as a big one happening next year here in London. We are very keen to look at opportunities whereby either through chartering or scheduled services we can develop the route. I mean, clearly for us, a sporting event is an event in time. We would like to make sure that any routes that we start up with, there's a continuity of traffic moving in. So we look very clearly in terms of our route development at the network and at the longevity of a route before deciding to go in there. Sochi is a great example. Today we fly there over Vienna with Austrian as a partner. So in terms of all the benefits of BMI, you can fly from Heathrow. It's an early start just after 6 o'clock, but a very convenient transfer point in Vienna. Vienna's a great transfer airport. Transfers minimum connecting time I think in Vienna is 30 minutes straight onto the Austrian aircraft to Sochi. So in terms of getting there, it's possible today. In terms of direct flight, which is I know what all customers want, we would have to look very carefully at that. And again, it's a little bit around the liberalness of the air services agreement that we would need to look at before broaching the subject of direct flying into places such as Sochi. But that and any other sporting events tend to lead to infrastructural development and more events, and really, you know, for us as an airline, always hungry to make sure that we're first rather than second, third or fourth into destinations, then you know, we would certainly like to see ourselves evaluating those routes at the earliest possible opportunity. And every week we are looking at that world map and seeing actually, does it make sense to fly to this place or that place?
You have sister airlines in the Lufthansa family now, and they fly to other destinations in Russia. So what's the scope for cooperation in onward flights from their hubs?
Indeed, I mean, we've got lots of, you know, we've got three partners alongside Lufthansa. So we have SN Brussels, clearly based in Brussels. We have Austrian, that has a great hub in Vienna, and we have Swiss, and we actually use one of their secondary hubs in Basel recently to start to develop flying there. So we fly into all of those hubs, and indeed out of those hubs we have connections into Russia. One example is Vienna, where we can fly very early in the morning out of London. Just after 6 o'clock you can connect very quickly through Vienna. They have a minimum connecting time of only 30 minutes straight into Sochi, which is clearly going to be one of the key focal points in 2014 when it comes to the Winter Olympics.